The FIA has ordered McLaren to modify its controversial rear wing, the famous Mini DRS, which has been the subject of intense debate since the Azerbaijan GP. This surprising decision by the FIA could completely change the course of the 2024 championship. But what led the FIA to make this decision now? How will it affect McLaren's performance in Singapore and the upcoming races? And what were the explosive reactions from rivals and McLaren itself? In this video, we'll dive deep into the behind the scenes of this bombshell decision and analyze its implications for the rest of the season. Get ready for a complete analysis, from Christian Horner and Max Verstappen's heated complaints to McLaren's potential strategies to adapt to this last-minute change. Let's find out if this is truly the end of the controversial Mini DRS saga or just the beginning of a new era of technical innovations in F1. If you're passionate about Formula One and want to stay up to date on all the twists and turns of this exciting championship, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Let's get started. It all started at the Azerbaijan GP when onboard cameras captured something unusual on McLaren's rear wing. What appeared to be a simple aerodynamic flex soon became the hottest topic in the paddock. The wing, dubbed Mini DRS, seemingly allowed for drag reduction at high speeds even without activating the conventional DRS system. The reaction was immediate. Commentators, engineers, and fans were amazed by McLaren's ingenuity. But admiration quickly gave way to questions. Was this really legal? McLaren argued it was, claiming that the system passed all FIA tests. But to many, including rival teams, it seemed that the Woking-based team was dangerously walking the fine line between innovation and rule-breaking. The impact on the track was undeniable. McLaren, already on the rise, suddenly seemed unbeatable on circuits with long straights. Wins and podiums piled up, and the team surged to the top of the Constructors' Championship. With every race, the buzz around the Mini DRS grew, as did the pressure on the FIA to make a statement. As McLaren continued to impress on the track, protests grew louder. Christian Horner, Red Bull's team boss, was one of the first to speak out publicly. "It's crucial that we have clarity," he said, "if something is acceptable or not. If it's deemed acceptable, then obviously it encourages us to pursue similar solutions." Max Verstappen, seeing his championship lead shrink, didn't hide his frustration and said, "It's important that the FIA clarifies this, not just about the rear wing, but also the front. What's allowed? How much flexing is allowed?" On Ferrari's side, Fred Vasseur was even more emphatic. "To me, it's clear. You have a maximum deflection. It's black and white, it's not gray, it's not dark gray, it's not light gray." The pressure wasn't just coming from rival teams. Fans and pundits were clamoring for a decision, arguing that the uncertainty was affecting the integrity of the sport. The ball was in the FIA's court, and everyone was eagerly awaiting a response. After days of intense scrutiny and heated debates, the FIA finally took a stand. In a succinct but impactful statement, the regulatory body announced that it had requested McLaren to modify its rear wing before the Singapore GP. The decision caught many by surprise, not by its nature, but by its timing. Why now, on the eve of a crucial race? The FIA explained that after an extensive review of data and additional evidence from the Azerbaijan GP, it concluded that mitigating measures were necessary. Technically, McLaren's wing did not violate any specific rule. It passed all static deflection tests. However, the FIA argued that the dynamic behavior of the wing on track went beyond what was considered acceptable within the spirit of the regulations. McLaren, in turn, issued a statement saying that although their wing complied with the regulations and passed all FIA deflection tests, the team proactively offered to make some minor adjustments to the wing after our discussions with the FIA. This decision marks a significant turning point, not only for McLaren, but for the entire Formula One. It raises crucial questions about the limits of technical innovation in the sport and how the rules are interpreted and enforced. But what does this decision mean for McLaren's performance going forward? With the FIA's decision hitting the paddock like a bombshell in Singapore, all eyes turned to McLaren's garage. How would the team react to this last-minute change? The response came quickly and was surprising. In the first practice sessions, Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri showed that McLaren wasn't ready to back down. Even without the controversial Mini DRS, the Papaya cars posted competitive times, staying within the top 5 in both sessions. Team principal Andrea Stella remained optimistic. Of course, we had to make adjustments, but our development philosophy goes far beyond a single component. We're confident in our ability to stay competitive. McLaren's adaptability impressed observers. Chief Engineer James Key explained, "We've worked on several wing configurations throughout the season. What we saw today is the result of months of parallel development. However, the real test will come in qualifying and the race. The team will have to prove that it can maintain its development pace without relying on the Mini DRS." The FIA's decision regarding McLaren's wing goes far beyond a single team or component. It sets a precedent that could influence technical development in F1 for years to come. On one hand, there are concerns that this could stifle innovation. Adrian Newey, Red Bull's legendary designer, commented, "F1 has always been about finding advantages within the rules. If we tighten them too much, we risk stifling creativity." On the other hand, many argue that maintaining a level playing field is essential. Mercedes's Toto Wolff weighed in. "We need clear rules that everyone can follow. Innovation is vital, but not at the expense of fair competition." The FIA now faces the challenge of balancing these competing interests. There are rumors that new technical guidelines are being drafted for 2025, aimed at clarifying what's acceptable in terms of aerodynamic flexibility. Meanwhile, teams are already thinking about the next big innovation. Engineers across the grid are exploring areas like internal airflow management and new composite materials. The McLaren case also raises questions about the FIA's enforcement process. Will there be a shift towards more dynamic testing, better simulating race conditions? How can technology be used to ensure more consistent rule enforcement? One thing is certain: F1 will continue to be a battleground of technological innovation. The question is how this innovation will be channeled and regulated in the years to come. As the 2024 season enters its critical phase, McLaren's Mini DRS case serves as a reminder of Formula One's ever-evolving nature. It's a sport where milliseconds can make the difference between victory and defeat, and where ingenuity often flirts with the limits of the rules. For the teams, the challenge remains the same: innovate within the established boundaries, always seeking that crucial advantage. For fans, this promises more thrilling seasons filled with technical twists and intense battles. The FIA's decision on McLaren's wing may have closed one chapter, but it has opened many others. As we gear up for the next races, one thing is certain: in F1, the only constant is change. And that's what makes this sport so fascinating. Be sure to follow the latest developments here on the channel. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, share it with your fellow F1 fans, and subscribe for more in-depth Formula One analysis. See you next time.